A lot of myths surrounding people that, what is the difference between not consuming, and do you think that's really advantageous?
Not to buy any milk.
68% of the general public are scared about the quality of milk.
You have to cut the packet, and then the whole milk has to be boiled and then reboiled and reboiled whenever you want to use it. So finally, you don't get any nutrition into the milk.
So how can India scale up in terms of this premium and organic, especially dairy products?
In India, it's difficult to produce organic milk.
How do you see the dairy industry evolve over the next 10 years in India?
30-40 years back, we used to import milk powder from Europe and all that.
There are many brands that emphasize purity and quality.
Of course, it is a profit-making business. You don't even waste one drop of water.
There are a lot of technologies that are being incorporated in the dairy industry recently, like data tracking or automated quality testing and all that.
You answered your question itself. Yeah, whatever it is, the reason may be.
Hello, Dr. Rangaiah. It's an absolute pleasure having you with us on the Bizz show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much.
Sir, if you see, can you please explain about your journey? How did you get into this dairy industry and what made you have keen interest in this?
Of course, who will not have the passion of food? So I studied food sciences, and then I studied dairy science particularly. I did higher education in nutrition and all that. So since my completion of education, I thought of getting into entrepreneurship. So it all started with my water processing and all that, and then beverages, and then nutrition and all that. So we have done, this is the third dairy plant that we did in India. So of course dairy is a basic food for human beings, and then I just wanted to do more in this. It's just like that passion and do something for the milk that has been there with us for centuries, yeah.
True, sir. So now coming to the latest statistics, we see that almost like 68% of the general public are scared about the quality of milk. Like, everybody says about purity and then the quality, but many of them fear most about adulteration. So what's your take on this, and how can companies like Kind Fresh, get into this scenario and offer absolute purity at a price that is affordable for the general public also?
Vinila, I'm really happy to answer this question. It's an unfortunate thing that has been happening, especially in the country, in India. So milk is so auspicious, and it has been so fresh, pure, hygienic and all that. So over the periods, due to, whatever it is, the reasons may be multiple, but there are many fraudulent things have been happening. So as I said, milk is very auspicious and very fresh. It's a first food for any mammalian, so such is that. That is the foundation food for any creature on the earth. That is what creates immunity in the body. A baby, for example, in human beings, a baby lives on just milk for an year, and that is the foundation of his immunity till his death. If that is not done in the first early life, his whole life is a little hanky-panky. I tell you with authority. So such is the importance of milk.
Yeah.
So over the years, the business has been growing, and then it is strictly, taken as a business, and then the many inputs came in. Meanwhile, there are people who made use of, this as a shortcut, method for earning money and all that. So barring few things of that kind, I think whole milk business is really good. no, that's the reason why organized, unorganized is separated. Organized dairy sector is doing its best not to bring in this kind of fraudulent things and all that. So you can believe, rest assured, you can believe all these organized companies who have brands have been there since ages and all that. So there are multiple companies in India, like who are doing very good in milk businesses. So those brands can be, believed. Absolutely can believe, and then I can assure consumers, because they don't do any hanky-panky things. For one reason, like milk is so volatile, any adulterant will create a big havoc, and the whole milk of that day is get spoiled. You can't convert into curd, you can't convert into paneer, you can't convert that milk if that is adulterated into ghee. So that is one good thing that milk has got. It doesn't allow when you want to convert them into products. So I sincerely suggest the whole consumer community not to buy any milk or milk product from a unknown or unauthorized like a operator whose process is not known to anyone. So I request them to go to the organized companies that have been popular and then been there in the market for a while. So that's it. So rest assured, if consumers are little conscious, go through the label and understand who are the suppliers, who are the operators, then they'll be in safer hands. Otherwise, if they buy the random, picking up in some corner and from unknown producer and all that, the quality is not assured. Yeah.
True, sir. Beautifully explained. So now if we come to the concept of organic and premium dairy, so it's still not reachable to a larger margin of people, we can say, sir. And one more thing is, you also have come up with a concept called dream dairy. So we are very interested to know about it. And if we see, sir, from fodder to processing, so how can India scale up in terms of this premium and organic, especially dairy products, that also in a way that is, accessible and viable to many?
Yeah, Vanilla. See, you are a very young girl, and you should know a little bit about the evolution of milk in India, the milk revolution or white revolution, whatever has been there. 30-40 years back, we used to import milk powder from Europe and all that. So we were completely on dependency. So we were not having abundant milk and all that. Thanks to the community, thanks to the society, thanks to the scientific community and then government. So they have done enormously well, and a lot of infrastructure has been developed, and then private enterprise also came up, and then government, especially cooperative dairies, have done a remarkably appropriate work for the country, and in 30-35 years we have become self-sufficient and we became number one in the world. The other meritorious factor in the country is we have a consumer base. Thanks God, we have the largest population in the country, in the world. So that also adds on to us. So whatever that is being produced in the country, we have a market in the country itself. We don't have to export.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we should satisfy with that. We have to earn some money out of this. So milk growth is a very phenomenal case study. And now whatever milk that is produced, 95% of that comes from the small marginal farmers, those who have got 1 animal, 2 animal, 3 animal. That is one peculiar thing that India has got. We have a large number of animals. All that animals numbered 1 to 2 in the hands of small farmers. That's where we get all this milk collected through collection centers and goes to chilling centers to processing centers. That portions also only 35 to 40%. Remaining 50% is unknown. We have to tap that potential. That is another opportunity that we have got. So coming to, okay, this is what, so whatever the milk that is being produced in the form of milk or in the form of products, we have been consuming. 98% of the milk that is processed is being consumed within the country. Now you have asked one question, organic or the premium quality and all that. See, there is a segment growing in the country who has got affordable income source, who can afford to spend more money, for the sake of better nutrition and all that. So this segment is still potential, very opportunity player. So this is now it's growing. Like what you said is organic milk, and then A2 milk, for example. Yeah. So all these things are the premium variety where the market is open. See, organic means there is a organic is a big word, So in India, it's difficult to produce organic milk. Organic certification will come only for such products which has got a background. See, the animals that are grown should be fed on organic nutrition, and the animals that they graze, that field should be organic. Their generations, couple of generations backwards, should be reared without any chemical treatment and all that. So all that monitoring should be there when you want to convert these animals into organic milk producers. And then once you produce also, the process is also something very unique. So, and very rarely, see, now we are in primitive stage, as I said, we are just in the process of feeding our own people, normal population. So to come to this premium segment, so there are many companies who are working on this, but looking for a scaling up and all that. So once that is there, market is there, of course, as you said, but this backward linkages have to be made available to the market. Once that is there, definingly, like we can give a defined organic milk products, this thing and all that. Yeah, I think that answers your question. Yeah.
So we got a very good clarity on that, sir. And now if you see, there are many brands that emphasize purity and quality, but your brand Kind Fresh, it emphasizes honesty. So what's the motto behind that, sir? And for audience especially, there are many tangible aspects. One is like environmental sustainability, one is like the animal nutrition, and the other is nutrient content. So based on these aspects, are people willing to pay a higher price, or are we still there yet? So what's your take on it?
Yeah, as you mentioned, like you answered your question itself. See, thing is, everybody are a dairy company. So we have come very recently into the market. The bigger players in the country are aged about, any dairy that you take, more than 15 years, 15 years to 40 years. I don't want to name them. All these companies are, 20, 25 years older than us. We have just come into the market, number one. Number second, everyone traveled through the revolution of the milk. They have, the industry, they have grown through, with the industry. They started 10,000 liters processing, 20,000 liter processing 20 years back, and today they are 2 lakh liters or 5 lakh liters or 10 lakh liters processing per day. We have come into the market at a time when the market is dynamic, the expectations are more. So what we thought is we should be online with the aspirations and then expectations of the consumer. This is what we have kept in mind. So then we have thought of few things, like we should be relatively on a scaled size, like 1.5 lakh liters to 2 lakh liters processing per day, number one. So to feed that quantity of milk to process, we have worked out the backward linkages, procurement mechanism, and all that. Of course, the milk is abundant, is in production, raw milk, as I said. The second point that we looked into, so dairy is well done now. All dairies are established every big dairy is earning profits and they are sustained. Now, for us, we have to show some difference. Like we should be different from other dairies.
True.
Yeah. So what are that is, I mean, what are the things that we can show some difference? As you mentioned honest milk. See, our I mean, like caption is, tagline is honest. So what is that honest? Where do we show the honest and this and all that? Number one is the transparency. See, raw milk we don't produce. We don't have a captive dairy farm wherein we rear animals, we feed animals, we breed animals, we milk animals and then process like in Western countries like in USA and Europe. That we don't do here. So we depend on farmers. See, our sole, any dairy's sole objective is to empower farmer. Farmer is the basic. In India, farmer is the sole creature for this agriculture. You know, they are responsible. So until he is made happy unless he is made educated and unless we support him for the work that he is doing, so there is no meaning of this business. So what we did is we started training him like how to produce a good milk production or clean milk production. See, bacteria is one culprit which spoils the whole milk, and it immediately attacks milk the moment it comes out. So we should protect the milk away from the bacteria. So you know better, in villages they maintain unhygiene with the vessels, with the hands, with the udder, everywhere and all that. So this, I mean, many dairies and in the evolution, that is one part. The farmer is really educated now. He's well, but still to produce low bacterial count milk, and he has to be further educated and he has to be equipped with some equipment also. You know, so that's what we thought of. So once the farmer is given information about the animal and how the animal behaves and how the animal gives more milk and how the animal gives clean milk and all that, so he will be, this is just information. He doesn't need to do any extra work and all that. So that training program, so we identify our farmers and we train them, and then we suggest them or we advise them what to feed to their animals, how they can be kept healthy, and how they can prevent diseases. So these things, these tips, are given in the training and all. So we identify the farmers, we train them, and that's one particular point that we teach them. And from there, whatever we did, whatever he practices is transparently recorded. So we maintain blockchain technology. So when somebody, for example, if the paneer you are consuming, kind paneer if you are consuming, if you scan the QR code of this, and you will know the milk from where we procured.
Great.
So what is for example, in dry areas like in Rayalaseema, whatever the milk that is being produced, because it's a dry area, dry fodder and all that, and the milk that is produced there will have more fat content. So since more fat content is there, it will be tastier. So you also know this information, and when you scan it, oh, this is from Anantapur, this is from Chittor, this is from Kadapa. Oh, this milk, the source of the milk is. So then farmer also, the consumer also gets connected to that kind of information. So that is one thing that we did to name our milk as a honest milk. The second is the cold chain management. See, from the place where the milk is collected to reach the processing plant, it takes some time. It depends on the distance and all that. Anything between 1 hour to 12 hours. So this 12 hours cold chain management is very tricky, very critical. If something goes wrong, the milk gets spoiled and then bacterial load will increase. So this is another thing, that monitoring of the milk that is traveling from collection point to the factory is also a basic thing that we monitor regularly and record it. This is the second honest thing that we do. And the third thing, the processing. And I can proudly say we are the only factory in the country who has got this complete bacteria removal mechanism. So bacteria, also there are good bacteria, there are bad bacteria. Bad bacteria has to be identified by the machine and has to be picked up and then removed. This mechanism we have in our system. So the milk that is being processed in this system can be used for any product and gives more nutrition, more taste, more shelf life. This is also one proud thing that I can announce to be named under honest category. And then after that, once the products are packed and all that, when delivered to the consumer, we resort to more on B2C. So there won't be any middleman mechanism and wherein it can be stored without proper storing facility and all that we are trying to avoid. So the product that is packed in the factory will directly go to the consumer then to avoid any interruption in between. So that's other fourth honest element that we have and all that. So this is where we are trying to keep our milk and milk products as good as better as possible when compared to the other products and all that, wherein the consumer can choose happily, that the kind product is better for us and all that.
So beautifully explained. I think before the launch itself, I think the public and me, we have gotten a complete idea on what it is. And so picking up from your question, like we have spoken about how there are many small farmers and with very small setup and all that. So you as a responsible citizen are thinking about farmer empowerment, but what are the policies and reforms do you think that need changes at a huge or at a bigger picture for them to have good profit margin in this competitive world?
Vanilla, see, there are multiple agencies or the operators involved in the whole process. For example, farmer himself is an entrepreneur. He owns some animals and then he invests on animals and he takes milk and then sells to us. And the second operator is milk chilling centers, wherein the milk that is being collected from farmer is transported to chilling center. For a transit period of 1 hour to 3 hours, he will store it in a cool environment before that milk is picked up by the processor and then processor. So, and then the distributor. Okay, there are 4 elements in the whole process, or the 4 entrepreneurial mechanisms rather I can say. They can be individual or 4 can be the divisions of a company. So we have to deal every part as an independent profit loss center. Farmer, for example, there has been a talk like farmers doesn't get a very good remunerative price and all that. See, I'll tell you, a farmer who has got 10 animals can easily get around 1 lakh rupees per month income. It is assured. That's the reason the farmer is taking up that venture. But whereas a farmer with 10 acres of land he is failing to, most of the times failing to get sufficient income and all that. That's what we hear from this thing and all that. So dairy, of course, it is a profit making business, and the challenges there are the feeding costs and then the health of the animal. So they are not in his hands. So that's where sometimes he falls into the prey of investing more on nutrition, feeds, or more on treatment and all that. These 2 things are the major extra expenses for him. Otherwise, if everything goes well, he will definitely earn money and all that. So those challenges, what is that? I told the feed, cost of the feed. So he should be able to feed the local ingredients, whichever is available. So these days, the farmers are well known about the nutrition, carbohydrates, protein and fat. So which fodder gives more fat, which grain gives more energy, which legume gives more protein. These things are better known by farmer. So he knows, okay, if I grow Stylohemata, if I grow lucerne, it gives more protein. Yeah, and it is less costlier also. It gives more protein. Yeah, so this can be. I mean, if grains are fed, these grains are easily digested, can be converted into milk fat. And if this information he has got, universities are also doing very good job. KVKs and the Department of Animal Husbandry, the Department of Agriculture are doing very good job. With the inputs that these departments are giving, farmers are well equipped and they know what to give and what not to give. And then of course this total mixed ration is one evolutionary thing that came into feed. That is cheaper than the concentrate feeds, and then it helps farmers to save a lot of money and all that. So that is one challenge they can easily overcome. The second is health. See, as Umanova, our dairy, we want to supply medicines at 30% cost of the market. So we want to get them. Co-packed under our name. We want to give to this thing, and then we want to provide mobile veterinary clinics wherein a veterinarian is always available to them to advise, and then medicines coming 70% lesser cost, and that can also help to save the health cost. These two challenges, if they overcome, believe me, it will be a profit center. Okay. Then chilling center. Of course, in chilling center, traditionally, historically, they earn money per liter 1 to 2 rupees they earn, and then a guy who operates 10,000 liter chilling center will get 20,000 per day, and then it is 6 lakhs per month, and for an investment of 20-25 lakhs, 5 lakhs is a big income. I don't mind telling all this to my people. So that's where. And the processing plant, and of course as I mentioned, it all depends on the how much investment you have done, but literally one has to do very good investment in the processing plant, otherwise they will not get quality products. Technology, automation, AI, all these things are the needs of the hour. You need to invest anything between 75 to 100 crore in 1 lakh liter processing plant. Always consumer also should remember this. If a product that comes from a plant that is made in a substandard systems or substandard manner, you cannot expect a quality product. So consumer also should know the background of this processing plant, and they should visit once in a while, to know how the process is being done and all that. No, everything is transparent. So they should also know this thing and all that. So once investment directly proportional to the quality and product, taste. Let me tell, it is a directly proportional. So if the plant is made nicely, and the product that comes out will be very nice, consumer can relish it. The fourth element in the whole business is the marketing or channelization or the distribution and all that. So now things have been changed, and the consumer wants to buy the product directly from the factory, and that feel of getting it direct is becoming more prevalent and all that. So this itself is a business. So saving in the transportation or in the logistics is the key factor here, and that is also this thing. So if these challenges in every stage is overcome, definitely at each stage, at farmer's level, at the chilling center, he is also a farmer, and then the processor, the main businessman, and the distributor or the logistics mechanism or the forward linkages mechanism. All these four units can become self-sufficient and then profitable.
Beautifully explained, sir. I think there's a lot of clarity over the years that we have gotten from your answer. So coming to an aspect that we have picked up from your answer, sir, like there are a lot of technologies that are being incorporated in the dairy industry recently, like data tracking or automated quality testing and all that. So like you have mentioned, on your part you are doing a great job in training the farmers, but we have a lot more marginal farmers who are unaware of this technology. So how do you think this can be incorporated at the village level?
Yeah, see, thing is, of course, the other challenge that I didn't tell you, the farmers who have been rearing or who are willing to rear the animals, the number is getting slowly reduced. Earlier there were a lot of enthusiasts or the farmers who are willing to rear the animals 2, 3 and all that. Now with the time their children are settled very well, and they don't want their parents to suffer because they think that is a stress binding and laborious, all that they are thinking. So they don't want their parents to suffer anymore. So that's why they are calling them to their urban places where they want them to be peacefully live and all that. So that's one reason. And then of course there are many people who are showing little interest to work with the animals and all that. So under this pretext, Government of India has realized this, have noticed this change in the farmers community, and then they came up with a scheme. With a scheme to attract educated people, like graduates who have just passed out and all that, offering them a scheme of like a national livestock mission. So through which any graduate, any unemployed graduate who are interested in dairying can come forward and take advantage of 2 crore grant upfront from the Government of India, and develop a 200 animal dairy farm, which is equal to 20 farmers, 25 farmers. It can substitute 25 farmers. It's a 4 crore unit, budgeted 4 crore value project, wherein Government of India gives 50% of that as subsidy upfront. To encourage them, to make it more viable. So it's all mechanized. Now the whole plant, whole farm of 200 animals can be run with 4 or 5 people. They don't have to use hands to milk and all that. It's all machinery. They'll have a circular milking machine wherein animals are trying to get into that, and then animals are milked, and then the same milk without any human touch, it goes to the tank, and from the tank it is loaded in the tanks and then taken to processing plants. So it's like a Western method, and if that becomes known and then prevalent, believe me, this is a boon to the backward linkage, wherein farmer also don't have to get strained, stressed and all that. It can be easily managed, and then milk also, clean milk can be preserved and then taken to the processing plant. So this is one change that is coming to in this sector, wherein it is going to be a revolution, but people have to use it. And many, even the lot of IT people who have done sufficiently in their sector, going back to the farming sector, wherein they are picking up this thing and all. But people should know that there are much attractive facilities offered by the Government of India, state government and all that. They have to use it, and then they should become dairy farm startups or dairy farm entrepreneurs and all. Farming should also become a boon, and then only it can become a big support to the processing. So that one change, of course, in future, I'm sure like farmers also get relieved from this laborious earlier traditional farming, and they can be free and they can happily do it like any other business.
So as we see, the traditional milk consumption is high and it remains as usual. But there's a lot of difference, in the market in terms of value-added products like whey protein, specialized curd, ghee, and all that. So how can Indian dairy industry, balance this traditional milk consumption and at the same time, increase this value-added products so that the whole revenue of the system increases?
Vinila, this particular point should be known to the consumer. Of course, see, milk traditionally consumers used to relish only milk, or the highest form is curd or ghee and all that.
Yeah.
So even the consumption patterns, and then people visit lot of Western countries, and they also came to learned what kind of dairy products are eaten elsewhere, and then why those products are not there in India. Of course, India is a big player in dairy, and this is the industry realized this is not just a milk era and then the products era. So there are many veterinary universities, many dairy technology institutes, dairy research stations, wherein they also found that there are many added advantages in the products than the milk. And in fact, scientifically also, milk when you reach 10th year or over 10 years, it's not advisable for anyone to drink milk. The milk's purpose is limited to early age. Beyond that, we need fermented dairy products, wherein probiotics are a main important in that. They are the pivotal. When I say probiotics, yes, milk converted dairy product, fermented milk products are the biggest source of probiotics on the earth. This is one advantage with the milk. Again, to describe the auspiciousness of milk, this is one, milk is compatible to host lot of probiotic bacteria that helps our gut. So let that be curd, let that be yogurt, let that be paneer and cheese, let that be any fermented product. There are many sweets, hundreds of sweets can be done this thing and all that. In fact, the curd rice that is incubated overnight, and then if we eat in the morning and all that,
it's very nutritious.
The buttermilk that is made in the evening and drink in the morning, all these things are eternally useful, and they are very precious, probiotics, and you don't need any other probiotic tablet or probiotics to use externally. This is enough if you follow it scrupulously, regularly, on a systematic basis, and this is good. So definitely products has got a value addition of nutrition. There is no doubt about that. I as a nutritionist, I can watch to all the consumers, you eat as much as dairy product than milk. That's why these days, for example, my factory manufactures more 80% of the products and process only 20% of the milk. That milk also we do only protein milk and A2 milk, not any toned milk, double toned milk and all that. So the products we manufacture, this thing and all that, and we again honestly say what is the nutrition that each product has got. So we label it and we market them. That's one thing that I want to tell. Definitely products will have an advantage to the consumer. Second thing, for the business also, for the businessman also, for the processor also, when you convert into products, you spend more money, and then you are allowed to sell it on a higher cost. So value addition of in the cost also, in the price also, value addition will be there. So both nutrition to the consumer and then price advantage to the processor. So both advantages are there once milk is converted into products.
Beautifully answered, sir. And picking up from your answer again, so it might be controversial, but there are, a lot of myths surrounding people that, dairy shouldn't be consumed, or, there's a set of people that says we don't consume dairy or whatever. So what is the difference between not consuming, and do you think that's really advantageous?
Vinila, this is the best question that you asked, and I have to answer this with full consciousness. Just to answer, before I answer this question, I have to tell, I have told you also how important milk is from the child. This thing.
True.
Those who are talking against milk, would they pass their whole life without drinking milk from their mothers, from their cows and all that? So at one point of time they have consumed the milk, and now after reaching certain age, influenced by certain information or from segment of people, now you are telling milk cannot be consumed, dairy is, harmful and all that, which is a deliberate act of maligning milk industry or the milk. This I can tell you. This is not correct. With folded hands, I want to appeal to all the younger generation, particularly girls. Please, please, please leave this myth. This is a myth. Milk is as precious, and it has been precious, and the milk products are much, much precious. See, though it's an animal origin, but see, it's a divine origin. Though it's an animal origin, it's a divine origin. Milk is divine. That's the reason when you drank milk from your mother in the first 6 months, the whole foundation is carrying forward till your death. That is the immunity foundation that has been provided, the milk that you drank in your early age. Mind it. Don't forget this. And all the diseases that you encounter at the latter stages of your life are connected to those who have not drank milk in their early age. Yes, the research witnessed it. Research had shown that. Research has proven that. So milk is such a precious thing, number one. Number second, lactose intolerance and all that, of course, see, that has not been there in the country. Our Indian generation, Indian trait doesn't have this particular lactose intolerance syndrome. Even, like people say climatic change, that, this and all that. Okay, in case few number of people who have got this tendency, you see, that doesn't affect much. That allergy is limited to only little indigestion and all that. Once it is continuous, avoid. Like you avoid any other commodity, any other ingredient. Some are allergic to brinjal, some are allergic to tomato, some are allergic to onion, some are allergic to, like that, some are allergic to milk also. So there is no wrong in that. Lactose intolerance is not a dreadful syndrome or a fatal syndrome. It is only an inconvenience that can be sorted out. But most of the cases, products won't give that kind of effect. Products, for example, yogurts, cream cheese, ice creams, cheese, these things are high in protein. Protein is very crucial for the body. Protein manufactures all your enzymes, hormones, cell structure, everything is done by your protein only. And the protein that is in milk is universally accepted number one protein, whey protein. Whey protein isolates. Whey protein is very, very precious. It has got all other amino acids which no other eatable ingredient has got. It has got complete spectrum of amino acids, and you will not get anywhere. Okay, there are some social stigmas over eating non-vegetarian, vegetarian and all that. Okay, I respect that. But those who are willing to eat non-vegetarian, animal meat is very, very, even B12 if you want, it comes 100% from the meat only. I don't say that can't be coped up and all that, but I am telling you everything has got its advantage. Don't keep this myth, and especially younger generation, don't neglect dairy products. If you are averse to some product, for example milk, avoid milk and take some other product. Go for some other dairy product. There are innumerable because we manufacture around 100 dairy products. 100 dairy products. So you can choose anything. Our caption is, we don't just sell milk, we sell nutrition. So it is a nutrition. So my earnest appeal to the young generation, like, don't keep these myths, and I'm always available for anybody for a debate or for clarification and all that. I can explain you scientifically why you can choose it. It's not that I'm a dairy man and it's my duty to substantiate or support dairy. No, I'm a nutrition man, and it can supplement lots of things. It has got everything that we have not studied, because knowingly we have many unknowing things in milk and milk products. So you can happily have that. If somebody doesn't digest or averse with some product, you avoid that, as simple as that. But don't generalize this, and sorry, because I have to tell to the consumer, and that's why I appeal to them and all that. So it's like as you said, it's a myth, it's not a truth.
So beautifully explained, because there's one single point that the audience can grasp, is that the first 6 months of life we have just spent only on milk. So at a later stage of life, believing all this and coming to a conclusion that milk and dairy is harmful is baseless, like you have explained.
Perfect. Yeah. You summarized very well, Mark.
So if we see, sustainability is a growing topic of discussion right now, and especially in dairy industry, we have many processes that you have explained before. So there are many concepts that still people have doubt in terms of the processing, the entire thing of processing, methane reduction, and then especially from the fodder and the animal rearing, like you have mentioned. So what concepts or what stages in all this process can India still develop in terms of environmental sustainability?
So as I mentioned, the 4 stages of dairy processing.
Yes,
at each stage, of course, we have to adopt all these sustainable development goals at each stage. Yes, we are very much behind when compared to West in the farming segment. Of course, again, I'll tell you, I am not an astrologer to tell what is 50 years ahead and all that, and what is going to happen to all this food production or agriculture production and all that. And of course, water consuming, the water depletion, the climatic change and all that. Of course, as you said, this methane, the carbon print influence in the backward linkages in the dairy farming and all that is still there. And as I mentioned, we are very much behind in this. So that's where the organized dairy farming and then mechanization of agriculture is definitely needed. And let's hope with the inputs that Government of India is giving, and then the farmers, the evolution in the farming techniques, and then farmers behavior, all this, and let's hope some good things happen in dairy farming also, as I mentioned earlier also. So government is spending a lot of money in the infrastructure development. Okay, let the organized farms come up, and then substitute the single farmer farming, and then thereby the depletion of natural resources, and then damage to the climatic change and all that can be reduced. And secondly, when in the processing sector, like as far as we are concerned, out of 17 sustainable goals, we are achieving almost 15 goals, which I can proudly tell, because of one reason. Even our ETP, effluent treatment plant, is also a biological thing. So we treat it with the plants itself. Plants eats away all the debris and convert all this effluent into a edible usable water, which can be used for agriculture. We don't even waste one drop of water. So we are the first people in the country. Let that in every industry or in the food industry to practice this particular thing. And then we also developing green energy to use our plant. As I mentioned to you, we have reduced the lot of labor also. It's not labor intensive because of the automation. A number of people that works will be lesser also. Number 4, as I mentioned, because of the automation, there's a lot of machines that runs on their own without using any fuel or something of that kind, and power consumption is also very less. And then instead of B2B, wherein lots of agencies are involved in the system, we are resorting to B2C, wherein the product goes straight away to the consumer, and we avoid a lot of nitty-gritties in between. The 5th point is the eco-friendly packaging. Like we avoided a lot of plastic in the packaging, and then we brought in gable top, one of the recent developments in India. It's a virgin paper board used for packing milk and milk products to deliver to the consumer, and consumer also witnesses very convenience. For example, if a milk boxed pack, they can use like whenever they want, they can open the cap, use milk, whatever they want, and then again the remaining things they can unpack and then uncap, and then they can put in the refrigerator. That convenience is there. Earlier you have to cut the packet, and then the whole milk has to be boiled and then reboiled and reboiled whenever you want to use. So finally you don't get any nutrition into the milk. True. So that can also be avoided. So lot of sustainable things we have brought in, and helping ourselves to support the climatic change. Yeah,
it's very good to hear, sir. And now if we consider the rising urban population, and then the health consciousness amongst people, and then rising income, so how do you see the dairy industry evolve over the next 10 years in India?
Dairy is really booming. One of the prospective enterprises, especially for our country. There are many opportunities. I'll tell you. See, today we are number 1 milk producer in the world. We are producing 240 million metric tons. The second is 115 million metric tons, that is USA. The distance between the second largest and the first largest is huge. As a dairy man, I can proudly admit this. That's number 1, and that figure we have achieved only when we are able to process 35 to 40% of the milk in an organized sector. There is abundant chance. There is again still 55 to 60% of opportunity to further process and then earn more money. Number 2. Number 3, we are now contributing, dairy contributes 5% to the national GDP. It is equal to 4 agriculture commodities, rice, soya, wheat and all that. It is equal. In the national GDP, 5% contribution with only 35 to 40% being in an organized sector. If you tap the potential of the rest of the unorganized and then convert into economy, you can imagine where we will be. It can easily contribute 1.2 trillion economy to the exchequer. I am sure. So there is a lot of opportunity for the upcoming entrepreneurs to join this dairy sector, and then attempt the next generation products. It's not just milk. Somebody can make milk powder, somebody can make whey powder, somebody can make whey proteins, whey protein concentrates, whey protein isolates and all that. The huge business opportunities, and we import today whey protein isolates 100% from US, Canada, elsewhere. We don't manufacture, we don't have manufacturing facilities. So any big entrepreneurs can come forward and manufacture these things. There are manufacturing in the name of whey proteins, but 30-40% level only. So they are the very important source of nutrition industry. Whey proteins, whey powders, milk powders, whole milk powders, all these things. And of course cheese is there. And then there are many subsidiary milk drinks, health drinks are there. There is no product today, tasty product today without milk cream or cheese or milk powder or whey powder, that is being added for enhancing the taste. That is third opportunity. The fourth opportunity is exports. We are very less. Being a largest producer in the world, we are unable to earn. We are unable to export even 5 to 10% of our production, just because of two reasons. One is we are unable to cater the needs of exporters or the exporting countries, for a reason that we don't have sufficient quantity. Everything is consumed within the country. Second thing, we are unable to, as I mentioned, unable to produce the products that the host, the buying country needs. That's the second point. So only thing is, if we convert these value added products into an exportable products, of course that also a big opportunity. So these four opportunities are open in the country. Believe me, that can add, because this is a very significant point that I mentioned to the policymakers, industrialists, new entrepreneurs and startups also. There is a big, no other commodity has got this opportunity.
Very intellectually answered, sir. So now we have some rapid fire questions for you. So we are expecting very, lightning fast answers. So sir, the first question is, if you had ₹1 to invest in reforming the Indian dairy sector, so would it go to farmer education, cold chain infrastructure or quality testing technology?
No, see, I'll tell you, I'll not choose these three.
Oh.
For one reason, like there is a sufficient emphasis being put on all these three factors, but I will use my rupee to educate the consumer about the value of the dairy product, which is so precious. Because why I am telling so many times is, dairy vitamin A, dairy vitamin D, dairy protein, all these things are unique in their own way. There is no comparison. I don't deny the nutrition of other products, but this is a unique thing. Consumers should understand this. Forget about the myths. So I want to use my ₹1 on this, educating the value of the milk product.
Wonderful, sir. Will the A2 milk debate become the defining factor for premium dairy in India, or is it's a niche trend?
Definitely, A2 milk is a very selling factor, very significant factor when you want to compete internationally. As I mentioned in the opportunities list, exports is a big opportunity for us. In A2 product that is being taken to the buying country in the form of A2 advantage, definitely it's a unique selling point and we'll get a better opportunity.
Got it, sir. So is the rise of plant-based milk alternatives a genuine threat to India's traditional dairy market?
As I mentioned in my earlier talk, see, everything has got an nutrition. I don't deny that. Yeah. But there is no comparison to dairy products. Dairy products are unique, better than them. And see, if somebody doesn't relish milk, I don't mind going for a almond juice, because milk is only milk. The liquid that comes from almond is not almond milk, almond liquid only.
Liquid.
Yeah, even FSSAI, USDA also notified this. See, milk means, paneer is from milk only.
Yeah.
Milk means from the mammalians only.
Yeah.
So definitely we don't disagree with the nutrition of those. They have got their unique features, but they are not alternatives to milk products.
Understood, sir. So who is better equipped to drive the next wave of innovation and expansion, the dairy cooperative model or large private companies?
Cooperatives has got their own challenges, own limitations, but private industry, corporates doesn't have. And we see a delivery company, a digital company reaching to 1.5 lakh crores business. So why not a dairy commodity business that is a highly highly selective for the consumer, So definitely, but private industry has got a huge opportunity, and it has to take upper hand and then lead this industry.
So, what is the single most unique and globally competitive advantage of Indian dairy that the world should know about?
A2 milk.
A2.
A2 advantage we have to take.
Okay.
Because and there has to be lot of research on A2 milk and then the protein responsible for that and the consequences, and then only we can convince the West that it has got a unique feature and unique functional features, then they will accept it. So we have to do these two things simultaneously, R&D on A2 milk and then projecting A2 milk as our frontline advantage.
Got it, sir. So, what is one AI or IoT technology that will most dramatically transform the life of an average dairy farmer in the next 5 years?
But see, whichever that helps to build the transparency.
Okay.
See, after all, today consumer looks at the transparency, the background. He needs to know immediately once he picks up the packet. So that kind of transparency should be available on the label right from the production point to this thing and all that. So I am not well versed with these AI technologies, but I know pretty well that because we are also using this, and that particular segment has to be developed, and then see that farmers uses this technology wherein the consumer benefits out of that. Yeah.
Got it, sir. When will India realistically become a top 3 global dairy exporter, and what one barrier must be broken to achieve this?
No, I wish your wish should happen as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I think in the next 5 years, we will not just domestically reach to generate the next generation products. We will also equally develop the exports and then export volumes also, wherein we generate almost another 1 trillion to 2 trillion dollars through dairy industry itself in next 5 years. I am very sure.
Got it, sir. So, what percentage of organic claims in the Indian market today do you suspect are not strictly compliant with the higher standards? A simple percentage guess is fine.
It's less than 1%. Less than 1%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Less than 1%, honestly.
Okay. What is the single worst habit the Indian dairy industry needs to collectively eliminate right now?
Not choosing dairy products. Not choosing dairy products. I appeal to all the consumers, have dairy as a part of, like how we have some carbohydrate rice and all that, and then dal, curries as a next portion. Third portion, equal portion should be a dairy product. Let that be an yogurt, let that be a less buttermilk, let that be paneer, let that be anything. Of course, ghee, a spoon or 2 spoons are equal to much higher nutritional contemporary, but definitely it should be an equal 1/4 in your plate. So make it a habit, and don't forget to eat dairy product along with your every meal.
Got it, sir.
And this is also a myth not to eat dairy in the evening.
Yeah. Many of them say that. Yeah.
See, even when you are, I'll tell you, there is a respiratory, support bacteria probiotic in the dairy. So if you eat curd, not the cool curd, but in a room temperature curd in the evening, that would help you to reduce your respiratory infections. Let that be cough, let that be sneezing, let that be whatever. Yeah.
Got it. So in 2035, will the average Indian consumer prefer liquid milk or value-added dairy like probiotic curd?
No, it's the time for value-added products only. It's a time, and then people are understanding very well about the value of the products, the functionality they understood, they are reading, and thanks to the media also, you are propagating very well about dairy products and their probiotic gut health value addition, and of course the whole next tomorrow is for the dairy products only.
So at last we want to ask that woman who was a part of the CII conclave that is happening prestigiously in Andhra Pradesh right now, 14th and 15th of November 2025. So what do you think CII will play a role in the progress of your organization?
Yeah, of course, we are participating in CII Partnership Summit that is happening on 13th, 14th, 15th in Vizag. We are also participating as an investor. Of course, CII, ASSOCHAM, all these industry bodies are really helping to a great extent to to participate in policy making, to help industries to get to acquire technologies, and then bring in new manufacturing practices and all that. There is no doubt about that. But this particular investment promotion summit under the auspices of Government of India and Andhra Pradesh government is really unique, wherein we are also participating as a nutrition partner. Umenova, like how we are doing well in dairy industry, we are in basically nutrition industry. So we want to do a lot in the nutritional products manufacturing. So in going forward, bringing in and manufacturing next generation nutritional products such as advanced protein synthesis and all that, alternative proteins through precision fermentation or food biotechnology or the recombinant technologies and all that. So we have these technologies in house, and then our American counterparts are bringing lot of money into the country, and we are investing very huge money in Vizag to put up a unit in a sprawling campus, that going to be the first hub in the country in the manufacturing of advanced proteins, and then through food biotechnology and precision fermentation. Yes, this is where we are also participating, and then thank you for reminding this.
So that's wonderful to hear, and this talk has been very informative, and I don't think anybody else can explain about the dairy industry better than you. Thank you so much for being with Bizz today.
Thank you, Vinila. Thank you for your podcast, and then thanks to Bizz also, and then audience of Bizz for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.